Hello aspirants, myself Kirtana Busa. I have appeared for interview in 2018. We at Narayana IAS Academy have come up with mains module to facilitate your answer writing. Important topics for the coming mains 2019 are picked, and all the important points required to cover the topic are provided in a simple and lucid manner. We are taking these points from multiple sources so that you will get sufficient points to use in the mains exam. We are also taking extreme care to provide good structure to the topic. Hope our efforts will benefit you. Having said this, let us move to an important topic today, that is the decision by Ministry of Home Affairs to revoke Article 370 and the bifurcation of Jammu and Kashmir. The rationale and benefits as per the Ministry of Home Affairs given to revoke Article 370. Let us look into the brief history of Article 370. It was on October 26, 1947 that laid the foundation for Article 370, because on this day the instrument of accession was signed by the then ruler of Jammu and Kashmir, Raja Hari Singh. And what are the provisions of this instrument of accession? As per instrument of accession, state gave 3 powers to Union of India, that is to legislate only in 3 aspects. What are the 3 aspects? External affairs, communications and defense. After this, on October 17, 1949, Article 370 got incorporated into the Indian Constitution, which has exempted the state of Jammu and Kashmir from the Constitution of India, and special status was given to Jammu and Kashmir. And under this, it has allowed Jammu and Kashmir to have its own constitution and to have a say on legislation on all issues except defense, foreign affairs and communications, which was there in the instrument of accession. And between 1950 and 54, several presidential orders were issued during this period. This includes the most crucial one that came into force on May 14, 1954, extension of Indian citizenship to Jammu and Kashmir residents. It accorded fundamental rights from Indian Constitution to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. It also extended the jurisdiction of Supreme Court to state, and the important provision through the presidential order is adding of Article 350A to the Constitution. What does this Article 350A contain? It contains the special rights and privileges to the citizens of Jammu and Kashmir. It denies the property rights to a woman who marries from the outside state, and it also disallows persons from outside state from buying or owning immovable property, as well as to settle permanently and avail government scholarships. So the outsiders are not permitted to buy or own immovable property, settle permanently, as well as the women who marry outside the state were denied the property rights according to Article 35A. It also forbids the Jammu and Kashmir from hiring people who are non-permanent residents. After incorporating Article 350A through Presidential Order in 1954, on November 17, 1956, the Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir got dissolved without taking a decision to scrap the Article 370. And this left a situation where Article 370 was deemed to have retained a more permanent place in the Constitution under Part 21. Then we look into what is the opinion given by several court orders as well as legal experts. Several court orders have since deemed the article to be a permanent inclusion in the Constitution, since the Constituent Assembly did not take a decision on its extension. Legal experts and opposition leaders have maintained that Article 370 can be scrapped only with the consent of State Assembly and constitutional amendment. So this is the opinion rendered by the several court orders, legal experts and opposition leaders. Then we look into what is the current scenario. In an announcement with massive repercussions for Jammu and Kashmir, Home Minister has announced in Rajya Sabha that government has decided to repeal Article 370 of Constitution, which grants special status to Jammu and Kashmir. The government has also decided to bifurcate the state into two union territories. One is Jammu and Kashmir, which will have a legislature, and the other is Ladakh, which will be without legislature. And what is the rationale for ending Jammu and Kashmir's special status? According to Ministry of Home Affairs, the provision empowering the state with a special status has always been elephant in the room. Jammu and Kashmir, along with its sensitive topography, appears like a foreign policy issue to the main country instead of domestic one due to its status in our constitution. And the leaflet provided by Ministry of Home Affairs also says that there exists an unnecessary chasm between citizens of Kashmir and the rest of India. And while supporting why Article 35A need to be abrogated, the ministry has said that the constitutional relationship of India with Jammu and Kashmir has been adversely lopsided, and that whatever the positive discrimination in Kashmir has been tended to be insidious. These are the reasons rationally provided by the Ministry of Home Affairs for revoking Article 370. Apart from this, the problem with Article 370, the Ministry of Home Affairs leaflet notes that the rise of terrorism and unemployment are consequences of Article 370's existence. It has linked the rising unemployment and terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir with the existence of Article 370. And it says that due to Article 370, right to education, right to information, Comptroller and Auditor General and many Indian laws aren't applicable in Kashmir, which has a situation of corruption. Since all these are not applicable as per Ministry of Home Affairs, it is leading to a situation of corruption and they are unable to handle it appropriately. And what are the other contentious points that Ministry of Home Affairs has pointed with respect to Article 370? These are: Indian Parliament cannot make any law without the consent of State Assembly, and Jammu and Kashmir has its own flag and constitution. President rule cannot be proclaimed and it is only governor's rule. Jammu and Kashmir has its own criminal code, which is Ranbir Criminal Code. These are the other contentious points that include in Article 370 that the Ministry of Home Affairs has pointed the reason, rationale and the problem with respect to Article 370. What are the benefits according to the leaflet provided by Ministry of Home Affairs? It says that the first benefit is social amalgamation will reduce the threat of militancy according to this publication. So it says that revoking Article 370 will promote social amalgamation and at the same time it checks the threat of militancy. The state upon removal will prosper economically and socially, as it has said that the main reason for undevelopment of Kashmir is Article 370. The Ministry of Home Affairs has pointed that revoking this will help the state to prosper socially as well as economically. Kashmir could be one of the top tourist destinations after complete development. One of the reasons the beautiful Kashmir is unable to attract a large number of tourists is the terrorist and militant activities in the region. So, if we curb this threat of militancy, according to Ministry of Home Affairs, Kashmir could become one of the top tourist destinations. As a result, it can prosper economically. It will also prove to be good diplomacy to deal with Pakistan over territorial disputes. This is another major benefit of revoking Article 370, that is, it will prove to be a good diplomacy for India to deal with Pakistan over the territorial dispute. It will politically give chance to all parties to rule the state and allow its development. This is about the history of Article 370 and why now the Ministry of Home Affairs is revoking Article 370, the rationale behind it as well as the benefits that will accrue to the state by revoking Article 370. The critical analysis of this issue will be dealt in the next video. Hope this video is helpful. Thank you and all the best.